What is going on, people of the internet? I am Kane Jones, aka Daffly Drummer, and this right here is the latest with Kane. Now, before I even get into the music, which is what I want to focus on, let me just set this up. I'm a music guy, and I work at a radio station here locally, and I've started to do a segment where on my show, I talk about the new music that's dropped that week, right? And so that's what I want to do with this. There's a lot of music reviewers out there, Rick Beato, Brian Fantano, and that's fine. But I sort of want to be a little bit different if I can, if that's possible, right? Kind of hard, but I think it can be achieved. I more or less want to be your musical guide or compass to tell you about the music that has come out each week, as opposed to giving you my opinion on it, right? I mean, it's like, I'll tell you about an artist or a group, but if you don't like them, you're not going to go look them up, and you might, but it may not be for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't need to give you my opinion. I might drop it in here or there. If it's an album I strongly encourage you to look up, I might do that, but I'm not going to sit here and say like, well, that album was trash, because you might think it was fire. Or vice versa. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, with all that being said, make sure that you're following me. I actually have a friend, Nick. He's my partner and best friend. We do a show, actually. We have an episode of it out that you should check out. Lifestyle Chronicles. We have an episode of that out on my YouTube, Living the Dream Productions, which is where this is going to be, as well as other platforms, TikTok, IG, and everything. But Kane Jones, at K-E-N-E Jones, and then Dat Fly Drummer on TikTok, and then our YouTube is Living the Dream Productions. So let's get into this. There's quite a few drops here that I want to talk about. We're going to start with some of the main ones, get into some of the obscure ones, and then end with the big, what everyone was expecting. So up first is DeVito. Singer-songwriter, R&B soul artist DeVito. He's got an album out with 17 tracks. Also, like I said just a minute ago, I would encourage you to look some of these up if you don't know who they are, because that's kind of the purpose of this. That is the purpose, is to put you on to new music, right? Or if you didn't realize that this artist or group had any music out, and I'm making you aware, that's the goal too. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this. Up next, J.P. Saxe. J.P. Saxe has a small album of 18 tracks out. He's on TikTok, his music on TikTok, and he's starting to collaborate with a lot of people in the industry. So that's J.P. Saxe. He's got an album out. Next up, Fontaines DC. They're an alt indie group. They put out an album last year called Romance. They have a deluxe album version of that album out now. It's called Romance. Isabel La Rosa is an album called Raven. That's out. She is a pop artist, singer-songwriter. We actually play her music on the radio station that I work for. Next up, we have, and now we're going to shift. We're going to get into some of the ones that we did expect. Tommy Richmond, his song Actin' Up, the remix featuring Sexy Red came out this week. That's one of his latest big single that he's got. We also knew about Carrie Hilson. We knew that she had an album coming out here, and I don't know when the last time she had put out an album, but I feel like she was overdue for an album. But Carrie Hilson dropped an album this week too. Now, let's talk about some of the obscure joints, and I'll even throw in one that I think that's on the come up on the rise. And I'm going to do that too every week, where I talk about someone that you should be listening to, that's an up-and-comer that there's no way you've probably heard of, unless you're just really in the cracks of the music, just locked in, finding the most obscure joints, tracks out there. But anyway, I'll get to that in a second. But some stuff that you may have not have heard this week. Dierks Bentley, country artist. I want to give love to country. I love all genres. I want to give love to all genres. If there is a track or artist of that genre that came out this week, I want to highlight them in every way I can. Anyway, Dierks Bentley, Well Whiskey. He's got a song out. Jordy, singer-songwriter, has a single out. And again, I would encourage you to look some of these people up. Maybe if you're a fan, maybe if you're not. And maybe if you're not a fan now, you might become a fan or not. You say, hey, it's not for me. Next up, we have a song called Show Me Love from Wiz, the MC, and Bees and Honey, along with Tyla. They're all on a track called Show Me Love. That came out this week. Richard Marx. This is sort of a deep cut. Richard Marx from the 80s. He did hits like I'll Be Waiting There For You, that one. He actually has a song out. That's right, Richard Marx from the 80s. Look him up. He's got a song out. And then now we come to the end. And then there are, okay, so let's do the super niche, may have never heard of him, Michael Markagi. Now, again, forgive me if I'm pronouncing the last name, but Michael Markagi, he's got an EP out of 5 songs. It's called Midwest Kid. Check him out, Michael Markagi. This would be in the genre of alternative indie. But again, he's got an EP out with 5 songs. So check him out. And then last but not least, the 2 biggest things that I think everyone was expecting was a single off his upcoming album that's going to have almost 40 songs on it. The one and only Morgan Wallen teamed up again with Posty. That's right. Morgan Wallen and Post Malone teamed up again for another song. Last year's song, I Had Some Help, was one of the biggest songs of last year, right? And it was off Post Malone's country album that he dropped last year. But they have a song called I Ain't Coming Back off Morgan Wallen's upcoming album that's highly anticipated, right? That dropped this week. That is now, I think, either the 5th or don't quote me on this, but it's like the 5th or 6th single to drop off this album that's highly anticipated coming out here. So that was one of the big releases of this week, along with Wiz Khalifa. That's right. This is the last thing I want to highlight. Wiz Khalifa dropped his highly anticipated Kush and Orange Juice 2 album. That's right. It's got like 23 tracks on it, and there's a ton of features on it. Everyone from Gunna to Don Toliver is on it. So check this out. Wiz Khalifa, been doing it forever. Kush and Orange Juice 2. That's right. And that rounds out the list of new music each week. I really hope that this was insightful. And there's some of these you might look up. Some you might be like, eh. But all together, that's your new music for this week. And again, this was episode 1. And again, also, my friend Nick might join us next time. I wanted to do this first episode solo dolo, see how it went. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And in the comments, like, it would be fantastic if you could, like, give me feedback on, like, if there's anything you think I could do differently. Because, like I said, I'm winging this, but I'm a music guy. I love music. I love talking about music. I love just, like, low-key nerding out about music. I mean, you see, that's why we're doing this. But, yeah, this has been episode 1 of the latest with Kane, a.k.a. Daft Flight Drummer. Yeah, until next week, where we will talk about another week of new music. Thrive and prosper as usual. Make sure that you follow me and stay blessed, people. Peace.